Right, lads, what's going on? And today I have a FIFA 20 year in review. This has got to be one of the 3 worst FIFAs we've had since FIFA really came to the fold ahead of PES back in the late 2000s. But we've still had many good memories attached to this game. I put over 60 days focusing on this, mostly Ultimate Team. And today I'll be going over some of my favorite players that I've packed and used throughout the year. This on my road to glory, I haven't spent a dime on it, and my pack luck has been absolutely ridiculous. Weirdly enough, it'll be the same player that got us started in my last video on the FIFA 21 ratings. It's Gulacsi. This guy's been in my team ever since December, throughout his regular card, his UCL Man of the Match against Spurs, and then eventually to his TOTS. He's just been completely reliable. And I used him instead of Neuer, because even though Neuer gave me the links, Gulacsi he was a wall. He stopped everything. This card has got to have at least 600, 700 games throughout the year. And I love this card because trading with this card was amazing. I invested a lot in this card. Got him a bunch for about 13k, sold him on for 30 a couple weeks later. Instant profit. Moving on to my favorite right back, and it's Hans Hadford. His shapeshifter card that he got back in March was amazing for me. 6'2", medium high, worked as a right back, didn't have the best agility and balance. I played him at CDM for a few weeks, dropped him back to center back. He was phenomenal in every single position. I combined him with 2 other players I will get to shortly, and it was an amazing triangle that I had with them. Coming into our first icon in the group, and it's Ronald Koeman. This guy had a phenomenal card this year. This is his middle card, and it was amazing. It was pinpoint. Gave the strong lead to Hattabor so I could do whatever I wanted outside of that. Had amazing long shots, good defending, good jumping. Stamina, agility, and balance weren't the best for where I played him at CDM, but he still managed to last the whole game. He didn't truly feel that clunky, a bit stiff at times, but still. He gave me links, he was versatile, combining with the last shapeshifter card that we'll get to at CDM. And it was the second piece to the amazing underrated triangle that I used throughout the year. Moving on to his center back partner, it's this absolute beast in Ibrahimo Konate. This guy's road to the final, which was released in December, I believe, was phenomenal. He was really cheap, he was 100k or so. But he played better than Flashback Boateng in my opinion. He was my personal favorite center back. High work rates weren't much of an issue, which is why I think most people are turned away from him. But 6'4", amazing dribbling, good agility, and when he finally got upgraded to a 91 where he was usable after Team of the Season, he was insane. He was incredible. I did end up getting Boateng to partner him after Ronald Koeman fell behind the power curve, and Konate outperformed him. That's how much I love this card. One of my favorite center backs in the history of Ultimate Team. Moving on to the first Team of the Year player that I've ever gotten the chance to use. In fact, the first one I've ever packed pulled, and it's Team of the Year Robertson. The Liverpool fullback was immense for me. I didn't really see much using him, probably because he was 600k throughout the year until Team of the Season, but he was ridiculous. He had that instant feel of quality that set him ahead of any other fullback I ever used. He was the best player I've ever packed up to that point. It was incredible. This year was insane for my pack luck. He was untradeable, 900 games, amazing stamina, could run all day, amazing passing even though crossing wasn't really the meta this year. Incredible card though. Moving on to the final card of the triangle that I've been mentioning throughout the video, and it's another shapeshifter card, very versatile. It's Kevin Mbabu. This card was phenomenal to play with in-game, and even better, he was ridiculous to trade with. I remember sitting in my accounting class on the web app, not caring about what we were doing. It was 1:30 after marquee matchups, and I sniped this guy for 220k. I got 2 of him for under 240. The very next day, he rose up to 370k, 400k. It was incredible profit, which allowed me to get the card that I was aiming for all year. In game, this guy was amazing. I played him at right back, I played Hattabor at center back, and Koeman in the midfield. Just all versatile, all absolute beast, and a triangle that I never saw anybody use. Even on 8 chem, This guy was a phenomenal right back. Nobody was getting past him. Moving on from one of the fan favorites to this year, it's the most hated card in the game. I'm sorry. I'm one of those rats that used Ben Yedder this year. Not even used him. I got him red. I know I was the most hated person in the game for a good 2 weeks after getting this, but he's just too good. It was too irresistible to not use him. 520 games, over 250 goals, 177 assists. Maybe not the best, but I was juggling him with another red striker that I got at the very beginning of the game. So he came in as a lot as a sub. I'd say at least 200 of those games came as a sub. It doesn't help that I play a 4-2-2, so goals are shared throughout 3 of that front 4. Still, a goal every other game and assist every 3 games is phenomenal from the rat that is Ben Yedder. Moving on from the rat himself, it's another fan favorite through a majority of the community. It's Marcus Acuna. The left winger from Sporting was phenomenal once again. Again, one of the versatile players that I absolutely loved using this year. I played him at left back, I played him on the left wing on the 4-2-2. I played him at CDM, and even when I was an 80 and got Konate sent off a few times, he did a job at center back. 5'8", 4-star weak foot, high, amazing stamina. Good agility, balance, felt really responsive, scored a bucket load of goals and assists, which is incredible given he was a CDM for most of the time I used him. Amazing, well-rounded card that could do it all this year, and the best part, he was 30k as an SBC. For over 500 games, 30k is nothing. An amazing SBC from Footmas. Moving on to the second icon in the squad from swaps, the first one in fact, and it's Georgie Hadji. The Romanian god himself was phenomenal once again this year. One of my favorite icons from FIFA 18, even though I despise that game with a burning passion. 4-star, 5'8", fit to meta. Smack a hunter on it. Over 850 games played, 320 goals, 260 assists. Not too bad given he was on the left side of my 4-2-2. And the way I play, I like progressing from right to left to cross the ball to the right. So the right side of players on my squad tend to be more goalie, while the left side tend to get more assists. Amazing stats, not the best agility and balance, however he felt amazing. Stamina was low, which is why I tended to sub him off in the 60th minute, which is why he doesn't have the best goal and assist contribution, but still just under 600 goals and assists in 849 games for a wide midfielder is pretty freaking special. He was in my team for a good 8 months of the year. Moving on to another red card that I packed early on, and it's Timo Werner. The Leipzig striker wasn't as good as the other players in the squad, but still has a special place in my heart in this game because of the versatility he offered. I subbed him on for any of my attackers, and even for some of the midfielders. He had a good high medium work rates, but this card was so weird for me because he felt so clunky. Even with the 84 balance being decent at that stage of the game, he was never my first choice striker apart from the first couple weeks I used him. I played him on the left wing. He wasn't phenomenal, but he was in my squad for a good 400 games, which is why he's being included in this. However, he doesn't hold a candle to another striker further on in the video. Moving on to a player that was an absolute ball ache to unlock, and it's Matteo Politano. His storyline card was ridiculously annoying to get. However, it's still a good comparison to the other ones, given you had to score a goal in 3 separate matches with every single Serie A club. Do you know how hard it is to try to score a goal with a 70 rated center back? Because that's all I had in my club at the time. It was insane, but all that paid off with the best super sub for half the year. 5'7", high medium, 4-star, 260 goal contributions in 500 games as a super sub. Can't ask for much more than that. Had amazing finishing even though it was only at 83. Amazing agility and balance. Felt superb on the ball. Good stamina to last a whole game, and a worthy mention as the best super sub in the game. Moving on to one that more of you probably unlocked, and it's Dan James. This guy was a squad battles objective, so you didn't have to do the incredible grind that Odegaard and Osimhen had to do. You still had to do it, but it just wasn't as bad because it only took a few hours. This card was ridiculous. He just dribbled and kept on dribbling. He was impossible to knock off the ball. Doesn't matter. You had Van Dijk? Nope. He'll dribble through his legs. Sol Campbell, nope. Primario, nope. This little midget could not be stopped. Not the best goal contributions once again, but he was ridiculous on the ball. Low composure, decent finishing. He was just ridiculous. Speeding this up because it's getting kind of lengthy. Osimhen was a ball ache to grind for in Rivals, but at the end of the day got an amazing super sub as a striker. Luis Suarez was phenomenal, pack pulled. I got him from the La Liga Tots Guaranteed SBC back in May. He was ridiculous, so clinical and dovetailed really well with Messi. I got the 94 Lewandowski from the 86 plus pack pull from a Foot Birthday SBC, I think. Amazing. He was an assist machine along with the next Belgian maestro that is coming up. Kevin De Bruyne, once again, incredible. Over a goal a game from attacking mid is something special. This guy, he's insane every single year. This year, not so much. Didn't see him quite as much, but he was still ridiculous. If there was a position that was the hardest to find throughout the year, it was right back. Semedo's gold card lasted me about 500 games, but then after about February, I kept experimenting with the likes of Aarons, Emerson, Kappa. Kappa was a really good one to trade with as well. But yeah, right back was the problem position in my team throughout the year. Semedo filled it for a good half of it though. Next player is Heung-min Son. Sonaldo was phenomenal once again. Pack pulled him. Look at me. This guy wasn't as good as in previous years since he didn't have outside of foot shot trait, but he was still phenomenal with a 5-star weak foot and amazing agility and balance. He was lethal at times. The last two players I'm going to mention are by far my two favorite, hilariously enough. One's obvious, it's Lionel Messi. Spent 3 million coins to get this card. Took me 3 months of trading and FUT Champs reward to get this card. He was worth it. He was ridiculous from day one. I had his gold card for 6 months, got nearly 1,000 goals with him before getting this card for just under 3 mil. But this card was miles better, and you wouldn't think that given the stats are too much improved, but he legitimately scored everything, even headers. He's out-jumped Van Dijk and then proceeded to whiff a header, because that's FIFA 20. You can't score headers in this game. But he was ridiculous anywhere else. Even his weak foot wasn't a problem for me. Insane card. Moving on to the final player I'll go somewhat in depth with, and it's definitely a surprise. Dode Lukebakio was my favorite player this year, ahead of Messi. He was the ultimate starter striker. He carried me through early weekend leagues. He had 120 goals in 60 games. His regular gold card. I had him paired up with Götze. He was insane. He finished everything. He was a broken card that nobody ever talks about. And it took so much convincing me not to waste my money on his Footmas card. I was so tempted to do it, even though it was incredibly overpriced. But this card was phenomenal. Moving on to some players that just missed out. I got Red Trent a couple times this year. Mike Smalling, once again, phenomenal. Frankie de Jong was unfortunate to miss out. He was amazing to pair up. Kusamaru, I got the very end of the year, so I didn't play too much with it. Marcus Rashford, decent. Henderson, okay. Got him from the Premier League. Then a bunch of garbage loan icons that nobody cares about. And then finally getting on to the big boys, we had Jan Oblak. Once again fodder. Kimmich was amazing. Sancho I heard a lot of people rave about, but I hated this card with a burning passion. He could not finish a thing and felt so clunky given his stat. Griezmann, once again, I hate Griezmann in real life. His card in FIFA is okay, but in real life, I hate this guy. And I proceeded to hate his FIFA card. Hummels was decent given his pace was low. Salah and Ben Yedder, both packed, never played a single game for me. I don't know why, but I couldn't bring myself to use Ben Yedder. I didn't feel that terrible in June when I packed him. Well, this is the last time I'll ever boot up this garbage piece of crap game. I had weirdly a lot of fun on it, even though the gameplay was absolutely atrocious, but we don't talk about that. As you could see, my pack luck was ridiculous all year. Only Messi and Mbabu weren't pack pulled from all the cards I showed you. My pack luck was it was insane. There's no words to describe how good my pack luck was on this account. Throughout the year, it was phenomenal. I packed my first ever icon from our RTG, which is insane. I lost my crap. No worries. Oh well. It was an amazing day. And anyways, that concludes this last video and only video I've ever done on FIFA 20. I'm so happy to see the end of this. I'm really hyped for this next FIFA. I just hope that Division Rivals gets put into the dirt where it belongs. It's a garbage game mode. I hope Foot Champs rewards stay the same, but just slightly boosted. Because I'm not with the majority in this. I like the player picks, because even though for top 100 players, you get slightly less than the old style, I prefer this because if you're not an elite player, there's a higher chance of getting better players easier. And it's just, I like it a lot better than the pack system. Anyways, that concludes the video. I hope this game dies a slow, hard death. Well, given it's been dead since May. But that concludes it. Hope you guys enjoy. Like, share, and subscribe. And as always, take care.